Hey guys, Rambo here. The second and final Dark Ops challenge for DOA 4 has finally been discovered. Or maybe that's not quite the right word for it, as a certain leaker was telling everybody and their mama backs about the challenge a little over 2 weeks ago. But the Dark Ops has earned 25 million Silverback Cash. That's a lot of money, the same way that 1 billion score was a lot of points back in the early DOA 3 days. For those who remember the King of Silverbacks Dark Ops, that one took me a little over 3 months back in the day. Similar to that card, this Flushed for Cash Dark Ops is meant to be obtained over a long period of time. A career card, something for players to slowly earn progress towards as they invest time into their mode. Silverback Cash is of course a new mechanic in DOA 4, and I'll break down the different ways you can earn it. For starters, you will encounter these Silverback coins throughout parts of the match, such as Silverback Challenges or Slayer Arenas. Each one is worth 100 cash, and in co-op, you'll also receive 25 cash for every coin that your teammates pick up. For players with the Fate of Fortune, there is a Slayer Mart Fate upgrade called Greedy that increases the value of cash coins by 25% as well. Slayer Arenas, which appear on rounds 16, 36, and 68 on normal, or rounds 12 and 28 on casual, are also great ways to earn a lot of cash. Typically, you can earn about 20,000 from just the coins throughout the Slayer Arena, and on normal difficulty, there are also clocks that spawn in and add 30 seconds to the timer, providing you extra time to collect even more coins. If you collect enough coins and successfully fill up the Silverback coin bar at the very top of your HUD, you'll be awarded a larger cash bonus upon completing the Slayer Underboss. Here's a breakdown of how much bonus cash you receive for filling up the bar, depending on your player count. If you defeat the Pop-Back on normal, there is also 40,000 in cash coins that will spawn in and can be picked up by the player. A full round 80 run on normal will typically yield the player at least 250,000 in cash. Although an 80 run is going to take a bit of time, so this is not going to be the most efficient way. There are also other ways to accumulate cash in DOA 4. Crushing, aka converting your Gobblegums, provides cash to the player. The higher the rarity, the more cash you are provided. Here's a quick graphic showing how much cash is associated with each Gobblegum type. Gobblegums, such as Gift Card, provide 30,000 cash to the player. A blue one like Tactical Diffusion could provide the player with 6,000 cash if used efficiently in the first 3 rounds. Then you have a Gobblegum like Profit Sharing, which allows you to split cash evenly among your teammates, so that's any cash that you currently have on you. For example, if you have 100,000 cash in a 2-player match, you pop the Gobblegum, you get to keep half, and the other half goes to your teammate. If you do this efficiently with the right amount of cash on each player, it could be a quick method to continuously exchange large quantities of cash over a short period of time. This is not something I could test to be working for this Dark Ops, as currently there's no way to track your collective cash earned in game, so don't necessarily waste your profit sharings and blame old Rambo, but some food for thought. Keep in mind that the limit of cash that a player can hold on them at once is 130,000. There have been players who have already achieved this Dark Ops using the recent Gobblegum pack exploit that's been going around for a few weeks. That's your prerogative if you want to cheese the Dark Ops and then complain that there's nothing to grind for in a few months. But what I will say is that I'm here to offer advice and strategies that will work in the long term, as I imagine this exploit will eventually be patched for zombies and by extension DOA as well. So probably the quickest way to farm cash legitimately is to play casual to round 12. If you practice it enough, you can farm the Ren's Rally Silverback Challenge for about 200 coins, and that challenge appears on the Babylon Arena, round 7. Depending on your arena branch and afterwards, you'll encounter either a Dark Crypt or the Nuke Yard on round 11. Each area will roughly contain about 8,500 in cash. Then finally, you'll have a Slayer Arena encounter after round 12. You can get about 20,000 in cash from collecting coins, and then another 22,000 in cash in solo from the coin bar bonus mentioned earlier. That'll bring you up to about 70,000 in cash for less than 30 minutes of gameplay. Again, it's currently impossible to discern how cash is being tracked on the back end, but you could probably also use save and quit upon completing Ren's Rally or the Slayer Arena, just make sure the round doesn't flip. That will then allow you to replay that round and the challenge associated with it, which will provide you roughly an extra 60,000 in cash for just a few extra minutes of gameplay for the Ren's Rally and Slayer Arena. Anyways, that's a wrap on Flushed for Cash. For those of you who complete the challenge, let me know in the comments below. And you could also share any other tips and tricks that work for you in terms of getting your cash up. Or your, what's the phrase? Like your bands up, your cash up, your money up? I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.